let's tell us the news.
Whatever.
Cool, yeah. So the first little bit of news that we're going to be diving into is for the world of Warhammer 40,000. And this was some stuff that came out of the open day that was held last weekend
Yes.
at Warhammer World. And so the first bit of interesting stuff was a
Woohoo!
look at what's ahead for the Sisters of Battle.
Yes.
Because leading the way for them, we have the procession of the Triumph of St. Catherine. Which is going to be one of the big sort of iconic diorama pieces that they're going to be making for the Sisters of Battle, which are going to be coming out. And
Can you make it big, Justin?
I can try.
And big in it.
And big
So this is based on a piece of artwork from the new codex. You may have seen it in some of the previews we've shown off in the past, but looking pretty cool. I imagine a lot of people are going to be taking some of the sort of individual elements of this and using it to create their own leaders for squads and that kind of thing as well. But it's like a nice, interesting sort of take on the artwork from the codex.
It's a very strange looking pizza.
Passing a collection plate
It's got
around.
all the branding on it. So
What is that that's on that?
Collect coins.
Are they coins or is that a collection plate? Is it?
Yeah.
it's the geld, I believe. Yeah, like the collected geld. Yeah, but yeah, look, I think it looks kind of cool. You know, it's very ostentatious and big, and it's probably not very practical on the battlefield, but it looks pretty good. So.
I am dreading anyone trying to transport that to a tournament. That
Why?
looks like it's going to break. Look at all the little flying cherubs up around the top.
Just break the babies off.
Yeah, just clip all the babies off. It'll look amazing. So it will.
I quite like it though.
Is it actually a gaming
You
piece
only,
then?
you only
It is
like
a gaming piece,
yeah.
isn't it?
you only like it just because you can't see past the wings and stuff. There's wee Charlies all over those. You just can't see them.
Calm down, Lloyd. Calm down.
Actually, this dude here up in the top left-hand corner, Justin,
Uh-huh.
has a goatee. He looks exactly like you when you if you look very closely at him.
Yeah. No.
He is.
No.
He's probably better endowed, but he does look like.
Ouch. Hang on. What the hell? I mean, like low blow directly below the belt. What the hell?
Well, look at the length of the thing that he has to hide it behind, Justin.
We'll have to attach him to it somehow.
No, it's I like it. It is a gaming piece, though, Ben. Yeah.
It is, yeah. So it'll have rules for you to use it in game, as they tend to do with all these big pieces and stuff. So
It's odd to see so many individual miniatures on the one base, isn't it?
Yeah.
What one thing that was brought up actually in the comments is that it's been really interesting seeing that Games Workshop have been creating these larger pieces like this, because in the past they do a lot of single miniatures and then they just expect us to make our own dioramas and things. And I think a lot of people were like, this is cool, but maybe if these had all been done as individual models, which I'm sure you could just do, as I said earlier, and just put them onto their own bases, you could then use it to create the diorama if you wanted to later on.
Well, it strikes me, right? If you bring a picture up again, right?
Yep, not a problem.
Now, I'm happy enough for that to be a single piece. It's probably a command piece. It's probably as much about its command and control that it adds to the battlefield as anything else. But there's a dudette there at the front with an amazing looking sword and looks like they know how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay. Surely with the number of individuals on that base, you would almost expect them to be able to run amok and go into a charge or something. Do you know what I mean? I wonder, will it just feel like a very staticky kind of a thing on the tabletop? Will it feel a bit convoluted moving it around and it not having the ability for bits to kind of run off and do their own thing?
I don't think so, because that's a dead person there that they're protecting.
Is it a
Yeah,
dead person?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
the body
carrying
of the saint.
they're carrying the body of the saint. So in that respect, it's very similar to the old Bretonian Grail Knight reliquy, where they're carrying a dead knight. So they wouldn't go running off and leave.
They would never leave the dead body.
Yeah, it's
so
an honor guard.
and in that respect, it's very similar to how similar to the Crusades. People who've seen Kingdom of Heaven will remember, the leper king in his lovely silver armor and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In real life, the last battle that he attended, he was just being dragged around in a cart because he had no limbs and he could barely move and he was one breath away from dying. And it was more, there's the king, he's on the battlefield, he was a symbol. And, so he wasn't leading any charges, he wasn't sitting on a horse by himself.
Was
And
he dead?
No, he's still alive.
He actually lived through it, did he?
Yeah,
It's not like
died
LC,
after-
where they propped him up on a horse.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
this idea that they've got something to protect and they're bringing it with them and it's more of a symbol.
Yeah,
than
it's
an
not
actual,
unusual.
it's not.
Yeah.
And it fits very nicely in with the whole
Thought of the
faith
sisters. Yeah.
of, and that theme behind the sisters of being, very religious. So I quite like it.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Then it's cool stuff. Nice to have it historically grounded in that sense. With the idea of
the idea.
no, I mean the idea of the
flying
protecting.
cherubs
Well,
and all
okay,
that.
Yeah,
obviously,
ignore that, but but
the idea of
actually bring holy relics with them, or bringing an actual, a saint's bones or that
Some
sort of
form
thing.
of
because
iconic faith
if
and
you
inspiration,
take the Crusades as an example, am I right in thinking that they had splinters from the cross and nails of Christ, and
they carried the true cross.
Yeah,
not just splinters of it. They had it as far as they were concerned.
Yeah,
so it was.
Didn't they pick up new
wheeled
relics
about.
as they went as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of them.
three spears. The spear that the centurion stuck into Jesus.
Spear of Longinus.
So 3 of them arrived back post-crusade, so everybody got one.
What? The spear of what, Justin?
Longinus, I believe is the name.
Isn't there a spear of destiny as well?
Same thing.
Is it the same thing?
Yep. So anyway, they picked up new ones on the way, but the things like the True Cross passed back. It was captured by the Muslims, and then it was bartered back later on whenever Christian forces got something out. So relics and bodies and all of these things.
Part of it.
Yeah,
and even to this day, I have visited the head of Oliver Plunkett.
Yeah, in Dublin.
Well, no, it was in Drogheda or Dundalk or one of them. It's halfway. It's at the halfway mark. It's not Drogheda. Yeah, I think it's Drogheda. And what they have is they have a head in a golden box.
Right.
And
so you don't see the head.
You do see the head.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's a severed head.
A
mummified severed head.
There'd be no point in traveling all that distance to check out some bloke's
and not
head
get head at the end of it. Yeah,
and
it's
not get to see it.
So, Justin, I will take you to Drogheda for some head some of these days, right? God. And we will go down, and you will get an education, man. I'm pretty sure I've also seen a severed hand, a saint's severed hand, like the bodies of saints. This is all over the world.
Oh yeah,
they have these
I know there are like reliquaries everywhere.
Yeah, so it's
definitely. There's even I think it's a museum somewhere in France that claims to have Napoleon's bits.
Which bits? The bits you clipped off?
The bits that someone clipped off.
And did they clip them off?
I have no idea, but they claim to have it. Preserved.
Isn't it amazing that would be a piece of knowledge that would be right at the forefront? Was that right on the tip of your tongue, was it?
No. I was just thinking about it, and it was just like, wait, I saw a documentary about that. Crap.
More of a documentary, I suppose.
It just came into your head there, didn't it?
All right, let's move on very quickly.
Yeah.
So what else did the workshop reveal for 2020?
So we also got to have a look at some stuff that they'd put forward for the multi-part sort of Sisters Repentia kit that they've been doing for the Sister Battle and the Adeptus Sororitas going forward. So a lot of people will know the ones that you get in the sort of limited edition set, but they've also been showing off some of the additional options and things. So you've got lots of different sort of head options and some legs with bionics and that kind of stuff as well. So there's some extra bits and pieces there for the Sisters of Battle, because they're going to be building on this range throughout the rest of next year.
What's the story of these guys? What's the story behind these leotard-wearing dudes?
They've done something that they need to atone for.
So they don't get any armor then? They have to go into battle.
Yeah.
Repentia, as in to repent.
Mm-hmm.
And they get a nice sister with
I like the swords.
The eviscerators.
Mm-hmm.
And they just gently nudge them forward so that they may atone for their sins by dying horribly for the Emperor.
And that sister at the front whips them into shape then, yeah?
Very much so. But to be fair, if they've already got to this stage, they probably don't need the motivation.
And did they were previously normal sisters in battle armor then?
Yeah.
And
that's why they've got all the
little
sockets.
Plugs and sockets and stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite impressed they let them keep the bionic limbs. I would have replaced those all just with peg legs and stuff. They're expensive. Keep them for real people.
I'm going to get in here to have a...
How close do you need to be, Warren?
I love the sculpting on this because this is not just a miniature painted with a black skin tone.
No.
When you go into the actual face, the facial structure and everything, it really, really suits the paint scheme on that. So big thumbs up to the sculptor on that one.
Yeah,
that's a lovely, lovely bit of work. I love that.
I'm not as fond of the muscle tone on them.
Do you think too much muscle?
Yeah. If you were to take the heads off, even if you would leave those heads on because you can't see what the face is like.
Yeah.
If I didn't know that they were Sisters of Battle, I wouldn't be able to tell if they were male or female. especially this one here, just looks too bulky. And then when you compare it to ones in armor,
I don't know.
that muscle mass
there's
doesn't fit in the armor.
There's a Russian, or no, maybe it's Japanese. It's either Japanese, Chinese, or Russian lady who looks just like that.
Oh, there's loads of them.
Oh, yeah.
But if you compare that muscle tone to the armored sisters, there's no way those limbs fit in
inside
their armor.
Okay,
If I quickly scroll up here to the first image, so there's your sister there. You can see some of the armor, and I see what Jerry's saying there.
That's not a great picture to see it from, but yeah, the models themselves are very lithe, and they've got very thin limbs, and then you could fit. You couldn't fit any of those limbs in any of the sisters' armor.
Okay, that's going to be a difficult point for me to come back to come back on, because I was going to say one of the things we've got to keep in mind here is that they're bound to have went through a process somewhat similar to a Space Marine. No, they don't go through that whole gene CD kind of process at all. No,
that's why they're only toughness 3 in the rules, because they don't get anything. They don't get the carapace under their skin or anything. They just get plugged. Into their power armor.
Okay,
and then they just train like hell.
Then it just does the heavy lifting.
Well, then in that case, then I wonder why they opted then.
I don't know, because the last ones, the metal ones that I have at home, don't have that massive chunky thing. No, it might just be because they've changed sculptor.
Yeah,
it's probably it.
So it's not a case of begrudging them having all the muscles. Yeah, have the muscles all you want, but if they don't fit in the armor that they came out of, then it seems like
the immersion a little.
It seems like an odd design choice, doesn't it? So, okay, what's next?
So as well as the look at the battle sisters and what they were getting, there was also a new flyer for the Adeptus Mechanicus, and this one has kind of divided opinion again, as most things do from Games Workshop. This is called the Archaeopter, and this is their new flyer that they're going to be using. I kind of like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure that it looks like it's something out of Warhammer 40,000, but I really like the look of it, and it kind of gives an idea of exactly the kind of strange, weird stuff that the Adeptus Mechanicus have been working along in the background. So
when I'm able to stop thinking about the very famous movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Well, let me put 2 other movies in your mind then.
Hudson Hawk.
Oh no, Oblivion. His airplane that he flies around in that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't have wings.
Haven't seen Oblivion.
Yeah.
And
bring up a picture of Oblivion.
And Slipstream.
Okay.
Slipstream, yes.
What's Slipstream? Bring up Slipstream as well.
With Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill's a bounty hunter.
It's a really nice look. It looks fantastic.
I love it.
I don't think it fits the Adeptus Mechanicus, though.
How come?
The Adeptus Mechanicus are on the cutting edge of technology.
Yes.
Supposedly, they're the ones that they went to and went, we need flying tanks for our Space Marines.
That's why they're called.
And then you've got that, and it actually looks like it's got pistons to flap the wings. And you're going, that's clearly not
you see
how that works.
Well, there's the first one Lloyd's on about.
If you click this one here, Justin, I think what we're seeing is the dragonfly kind of.
Yeah. No, not that. Not that. Go back. See that one there. Click that.
That one?
Oh, that's tiny as well. You should do big images when you do these searches. Big images. Yeah, it's that bubbly look and the wings.
Yeah.
Again, I thought about Slipstream and in the airplane, and that
go
is
to
a
Slipstream.
bubbled head.
Does any? Well, you see,
No, none of them have flipping flappy wings.
Oh well, it's the flappy wings, but
no, wait, I did see something. Look up. I seen it on Facebook. Look up Batman's helicopter.
From the 1960s.
From the 1960s. I seen someone put that on Facebook.
Okay, so Batman's helicopter has flappy wings.
But when the Adeptus Mechanicus can make the Titans, can make repulsor tanks, the idea that the only way they can fly themselves is with flappy wings just seems wrong. I think it looks very. Sorry, go.
I was going to say, I think the way that they've kind of tried to approach the design has potentially come from the idea of sort of seeing the Adeptus Mechanicus as like steampunky. And so they've tried to do something for their flyer that has that kind of steampunky element to it. I'm trying to tie in that idea of the sort of gothic world beyond, what you'd get on the battlefield. They're trying to make it so it's something that could potentially have been used as something for civilians, maybe as well. So.
See, I look at that wing design and it just screams Dark Eldar to me, because they have the winged.
Oh god, yeah. Actually, even worse than that. Now you've said that, if you look for Dark Eldar Raider or Ravager, that is just the seal off one, isn't it?
Pretty much.
See, what I think I would do is just not model it with the wings.
I think without the wings. I think with the wings it looks great. I just don't think it's the super technology.
I really like it.
I like it too.
But I
like
Jerry,
it as it is.
Like Jerry, I'm looking at going, but how does the wing thing really fit in with the faction? Aren't they supposed to be really high tech?
Yeah, but maybe those wings are really high tech.
You mean like the Falcon?
I hope they're flame retardant.
Well, obviously they are. Like
What, flying over any fire? Oh no, my wing's on fire! Crash.
Well, it wasn't made on Endor.
right. I'm sure it'll work outdoors. So right. I'm going to try and pitch this to you. Okay. So I'm the ad mech that has come up with this design.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to try and keep this as realistic as possible, Ben. Okay.
Start talking in binary.
Okay.
That's the,
Dudes, I have found an STC that's really cool. It will give us a flyer called, what's it called again?
the Archaeopter.
The Archaeopter, dudes. Right? Exterminate. So obviously the other ad mech across the table will go, well, what is the benefits of this monstrosity? And I will go, it works like a bug. So think about this, right? If we can shoot birds, right? There's people that can shoot birds. They go pigeon shooting. But I have never seen anybody go fly shooting or bee shooting. Because a fly or a bee would have a much more...
In that case, never Google salt shotgun, which is made specifically to kill flies and bees and stuff when you can't be bothered swatting. You just sit there with your shotgun and just blast them with rock salt.
I don't understand. I don't understand where you were going with this. Anyway, are you trying to say it looks like a bee or it looks like a bird?
No, I'm trying to say that an insect would have flight properties that would be beyond what you would see with a normal flyer.
See, I don't know.
Because like a fly, Justin, when was the last time you and a fly had any kind of like interaction with one another?
Last time
Other than the one that's
one?
like buzz around your brain.
Last time I had to kill one.
Right. Did you manage it?
Yes.
How long did it take you?
One swing with a tea towel.
One swing with a tea towel. I've got to make you a belt, 7 in one blow.
I remember that story. I was trying to remember what that was.
Right. So, but have you ever been outfoxed by an insect?
No.
You must be a genius. You must be like the Mr. Miyagi of the OnTableTop crew.
What do you mean outfoxed by an insect?
Well, I don't mean he turned into a fox. I
get that we're not talking literal here.
Okay.
So how have you been outfoxed by an insect?
I have been outfoxed by insects where there's been like a fly or a bee or a wasp has been made its way into the room, and it has taken me quite some time to be able to either catch or kill it, because its reflexes are better. It has the ability to hover, move, and do maneuvers that no normal bird
I don't
would
think
be able
that's
to
how
do.
this flies.
You don't think it flaps its wings like an insect?
I would highly doubt it.
Oh, well.
Well, no, wait, look, because it has pistons, as if they can go up and down.
Are there any other pictures, or is this the only one they've revealed so far,
Any
Ben?
rocket boosters on the back of this thing?
That's the only teaser so far.
Oh, that's the only teasers.
Because
you've got some close-ups.
Yeah,
there we go. Look, rocket boosters.
Yeah, so it has engines.
So it's
got
only
little-
using the wings for direction then.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
It's also got them on its legs, though. Is the thing.
It's got flappy bits on its legs.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, because you can see it there between.
Oh yes, it does.
But then it doesn't have a foot; it's got a hook.
Okay.
So I want to see other ways. Presumably they've got it like
think-
hanging upside down like bats or something, and then launching.
I think it's worth me pointing out to the community now that I clearly have been talking utter shite on this. So back to the drawing board on that.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it.
I suppose if it, I expect it to have aero abilities beyond what you would see with a normal flyer for it to look like that. It may not. Maybe they just designed it like that because they thought it looked cool. That's fine. But it'd be cool if they have some kind of...
The worst thing you can do if you want to be good at flying is stick wings on something.
Why?
Because if you've got anti-grav type technologies and stuff like that, you don't stick a wing on it.
Yeah, but this is probably made by the regular AdMech and not Belisarius Call.
If you love it, you'll always put a ring on it, or a wing on it.
Because like as jet fighters and stuff have progressed, we've got less and less wing. Like... compared to the size of the bodies. Like if you look at World War II aircraft, the wings are big compared to the size of the body. But as we've got more and more sophisticated, now we're even evolving into the entire aircraft is basically just one molded wing.
Like a tic-tac.
It's not really beneficial to have too many sticky out bits.
As Justin will attest to.
I'm saying nothing.
Okay. Right. What else did they show off? We're past the flyer. We're all stumped by the flyer. We don't know where we are.
Okay, so to finish things off for 40k, one of the big things they talked about was that there's going to be 3 new books for the Psychic Awakening. So there's going to be The Ritual of the Damned, The Greater Good, which I assume would bring Tau into the equation, or Tau, if you want to say it the proper way now. And also there's the Saga of the Beast, which is the final one, which I'm kind of crossing my fingers for some awesome Space Wolf stuff for.
See, I don't know. I'm thinking either Orc or Tyranid.
Well, see, I think it's going to be Space Wolves versus one of those factions. I think that's going to be the big thing, because they've always done kind of like a versus thing within the books, and they've already done the Tyranids as part of Blood of Baal, so maybe we'll see something there.
So do we think that Ritual of the Damned will be Legion of the Damned?
Possibly.
It could well be something to do with the Legion of the Damned.
Greater Good is clearly going to be the Tau.
Yeah.
So I think it's
orcs.
You think Saga of the Beast is the orcs?
Because they've used it before for Gaskell, being the great beast and stuff like that, and orcs are crying out
Ritual
for
of
models.
the Damned could also be either Night Lords or perhaps Alpha Legion.
Okay. And that's our lot.
Yeah, the final little bit of a thing was that they also put forward a little bit of a teaser for what they're doing on the Warhammer animations front. Because obviously one of the big things they talked about earlier in the year was that they were going to be doing a whole bunch of animations projects, both within the worlds of Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. And so they put together a little bit of a reel which shows off some of the stuff that's going to be available next year, with the sort of announcement at the end of the trailer that the sort of big reveal for what they're doing for the Blood Angels sort of animation project is going to be coming in January.
It's got the weirdest music on it for a 40k
It does
video.
have the weirdest music. Yeah.
There's no grimdark music to it. It's all sort of commercial pop music.
I liked it.
It's very aspirational music.
I actually quite like the Saturday morning TV type cartoons clips that were in it. I
haven't looked at it.
Have you not seen it yet?
Yeah.
You've got some from the kids novel series.
Yes.
You've got one that looks almost anime, and then you've got the CGI one in there as well.
Yeah, I'll take the first and the last. So I'll leave you to the.
I'll enjoy it, because it
kabuki
looks
or
like the
whatever it
Night
is,
Lords are
so.
getting involved in that one.
Yeah, but the first one it had a like Saturday morning TV, like Ulysses kind of power extreme kind of a Centurion thing going on about it. I thought, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that.